You think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world. But then you read James Baldwin. The 12-minute song, Basketball Shoes by the British band Black Country New Road, slowly paints a complete picture of what it feels to be young and careless, while also showing the painful side of this emotionally charged period of life. But before continuing, it is important to identify the elements that define adolescence, since this is the stage of life that the song focuses on. For example, although youth is experienced differently for all of us, there are specific feelings that most people go through. Emotions such as enthusiasm, excitement, love, heartbreak, and, especially, a constant sense of existential dread are the ones that most adolescents experience strongly regardless of the decade. While adults certainly experience these emotions, they hit hardest during adolescence, reaching a level of intensity that rarely, if ever, returns later in life. That exact raw feeling is what Basketball Shoes captures. Now, after clarifying this, let's go back to the analysis. The song is divided into three parts. The first part is about questioning your place on earth, but also about the excitement and frightening feeling of liking somebody for the first time. The second part is about the overwhelming feeling of your first love, when you think the other person is your one and only forever. And the third and last part is about even a stronger feeling, your first breakup, but also about experiencing this breakup while also dealing with the effects of puberty. So now, let's begin with the breakdown.
Concord flies in my room, tears the house to shreds.
The use of the word concord has two meanings. One, it refers to a British/French airplane, like the one we can see in the cover, but it also refers to someone. And this is more evident when we noticed that the word concord is used in four different songs. In this case, Concord is someone who the narrator feels a lot for, and every time he thinks about her, he feels like his home is torn to shreds.
Defines the night as such, a home for us, sticking sex, and leaves no trace of love at every market town that we intersect. I died like 15 times. The dark blue step brings me to their breast. And I'm feeling kinda normal with packed lunch. Train rides don't hurt much these days. We're all working on ourselves and we're praying that the rest don't mind how much we've changed. So if you see me looking strange with a fresh style, I'm still not feeling that great. And then it's in soft focus all around you. You can't see the football game on my dad's sofa. We are still, and we never look at our phone anymore.
Now, although there is a lot to impact on this part of the song, I want you to focus on the lines that I'm about to mark right now. At every market town that we intersect, I die like 15 times. And also, On my dad's sofa we are still and we never look at our phones anymore, since they give us an important clue to understanding the song. First, do you remember the two lines that I showed you at the beginning? Well, when the narrator was expressing that every time he thinks of a certain someone, meaning Concord, then his house gets torn apart, meaning his feelings, he was not thinking of Annette's love, but actually he was talking about a crush he has. The lines, at every market town that we intersect, I die like 15 times, describe how nervous he feels about seeing her and describe it as dying 15 times, which is a complete hyperbole, but also a very realistic way to explain how a teenager feels shame. Then the lines, "On my dad's sofa we are still and we never look at our phones anymore," describe a very awkward but warm encounter between him and his crush, who most likely are on their first day at his house. And also they stopped paying attention to the football game and started only paying attention to each other. But now you might ask, what about the other lines? Well, you see, when we read the other lines, we discover how close they resemble a breakup, right? Lines such as, "and we are all working on ourselves, and we are praying that the rest don't mind how much we have changed," are typical lyrics for a breakup song. However, if we take into consideration the yellow underlying lyrics, there seems to be a contradiction, right? That is because the author is mixing the pain of a breakup with the rush of a crush. Now, I understand that sounds very confusing, but the second part of the song has a more direct meaning, and for this, I need you to focus not only on the lyrics, but also on the change of mood of the overall song.
Oh, I can't think of anything better. Pick a hair off my sweater and drown in me like boyfriend jeans. Oh, I haven't felt this way in like ever. I am the convo, you are the weather, and the clan is a cracked smile cheek, and it tortures me.
Now the song starts to sound very positive. It literally sounds like enthusiasm transformed musically. Also, in the next lines, we can assume or interpret that the speaker is now dating their crush, and it feels like rainbows and sunshines everywhere. As the lyrics describe, "Oh, I can think of anything better. Oh, I haven't felt this way in like ever. I am the combo, you are the weather." It sounds nice, right? But what if we focus on the last lines? "And the clam is a cracked smile cheek, and it tortures me." Now, cracked smile cheek means to fake a smile or force a smile. And then the line, "it tortures me," meaning that when he is with her, having to pretend that he is happy feels painful, almost like someone is hurting him. But why would he say that if he claims to be happy on the other lines? Well, the yellow marked line, "I am the combo, you are the weather," sounds nice at first, right? Until you analyze it and discover that what it means is that he will bring the topics to talk about, but that the mood of the other person will bring the tone of the conversation. Since these lines, we notice that this is not a healthy relationship, and also that it is damaging him. These last lines foreshadow not only what would happen in the relationship, but also the aftermath depicted in the third and last part of the song. But before changing the mood of the instrumental, there is a little bridge between part 2 and part 3. The bridge that you're hearing in the background right now. It sounds soothing and calm. Maybe everything will be fine after all. Maybe he found peace in the relationship, right? That's exactly what one might think. Until and now the last part. This time the rhythm feels heavy, almost like a storm tormenting us. And the drums, like a heartbeat, are only an opening to what is about to come. Because the next lines are the most raw and purest description of what it feels to be a teenager. What the lines "in my bed sheets now wet" of Charlie I prayed to forget are actually describing, and prepare yourself for this, is a wet dream. Now you might think that Charlie is the real name of Concord, the poetic imagery that was used before, but actually, according to interviews, Charlie refers to the singer Charlie XCX. And then you might think, why would he write something as random and cringy and awkward as this? And that is because that's exactly how it feels to be a teenager. And that is because at its core, being a teenager is constantly feeling embarrassed. Not because you as a person are embarrassing, but because everything we thought, everything we did, it felt like the end of the world. That is because this is the stage of life in which we feel the most. Then the last lines. All life been forms the drum, we sing the rest. Oh, your generous loan to me, your crippling interest. Especially the last two lines, the line that says, your generous loan to me, what it is actually describing is that his ex, because they apparently broke up, which was foreshadowed before, all the attention and love she gave him was temporary, it was simply a loan that she gave him because she was a generous person. And then, your crippling interest, what it is describing is that it left him with long life consequences. So what this part is actually describing is that even though right now he's going through a breakup, he also has to deal with the effects of puberty. That's why the first part felt so embarrassing, so shameful to admit. It's because that's exactly how it feels to go through puberty. And also, in this case, he has to deal with the pain of a heartbreak. As the song continues, you notice that in contrast with the other two parts, the lines repeat over and over. And each time it feels more crude, it feels more raw. And that is because the song is preparing you for the final moment. There is nothing left to say. There is only repetition building the momentum, the pinnacle for which the song has been preparing you to. It all builds up to this moment until